Alrighty, we're live. What's that? What's that, Mal? Genius Bar. No idea. Yep. Go ahead and schedule it. You can always cancel it. I'm getting ready to start here, honey. Let me just get back to you on that, all right? Oh, evening. Okay. All right, hon, I'll get back to you. All right, thanks. Thanks, Madeline. All right, everybody, we're going to get started soon. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's amazing how the attendees, it just explodes when the doors open. It's awesome. Welcome, everybody. Hey, it's Sam Crowley, but you already knew that. So we're going to get started here in just a couple minutes. Let everybody, I love how I throw that doctor in front of the name there. It looks so, I wonder if anybody looked at that and thought, what a loser. Why is this guy calling himself doctor? It's for the heck of it. When I send out Christmas cards, birthday cards, things like that, I'll put the old DR in front just to mess with people. So we're going to get rocking and rolling in just a few minutes here. It's 6 o'clock, so it's kind of a, I wouldn't call it an odd time. I don't know how many webinars you attend. I'm not quite so sure there's a great time to have a webinar because we have a lot of people in Australia that plug in, so it's 8 a.m. over there. We have people in the UK, it's 11 o'clock at night there. We have people in LA, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So just pick 6 o'clock, and we're going to grip and rip. Hey, also, this is going to be very interactive. I was going to do maybe 4 slides, and I'm not doing any slides. Okay? So I just want this to be really low-key with a lot of great content, a lot of great value. This is all around the topic of the 4 things I wish I had known when I quit my job. And this would be the first time I quit. Those of you that follow the story very closely, I quit, went broke, went back, quit again. But I'd love to give people advice if you recently left your job or you're looking to quit your job, or heck, maybe you're a full-blown entrepreneur and you want a refresher as to what you should be doing and where to go. And I always preface my trainings by this isn't the only information, obviously, that's out there. It's not the perfect information. It's just my story and how I'm looking to help people out that are going through massive transition in their life. And, just deliver value to you. And if you find value, we're not going to go long. I mean, we're not going to go 2 hours unless you got 2 hours of questions, and I'll hang on for that. We'll probably cap it at an hour, maybe the last 10 minutes or so. I want to recap. I've had a lot of emails back. I've been promoting Mobe, a home business there. If you want to stay on the line the last 10 minutes of the hangout, I'm going to go over Mobe, all right? If you want to jump off after I deliver all the content, you're more than welcome to jump off as well. And if you want to chat and ask questions, just type them into the chat box. I'll monitor that as well. So let me dive into this. Let's talk about this topic, the four big mistakes. And look, it could have been 44 very easily. I made a lot of mistakes when I first got started as an entrepreneur. And I tried to narrow it down to 4 because these were the 4 biggies. And I don't know if they're in any particular order, but they're in an order which they came to my mind. So I guess, going from first to last, maybe this is how it all came to my mind when I was thinking, what were the 4 biggest mistakes I made? And the very first one I made, and I wish I would have known this, was I didn't act earlier. I didn't go after my dream when I was getting the itch, when I knew that, look, when you first start down the road or start down a path, you think that, well, maybe that's just something else. Maybe I'm just going through midlife crisis. Maybe, I'm just having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, or maybe somebody rubbed me the wrong way. But what I noticed the other way around, when I was managing people in a job, by the way, I got my trusty water here. I'm going to be taking a lot of water breaks because I don't know why I get parched so much. I talk a lot, and so I'm going to be taking a lot of drinks of water. I hope you don't mind. By the way, how's everybody doing tonight? Nobody's typing in the chat box. Anybody alive out there? You just viewing, or what's going on? Like, give me an idea. You fired up? You excited? How's your week going? Let's see it, man. Who's brave enough to chat in that chat box? Let's see what you got going on there. Oh, maybe I clicked the enable chat box. That would actually help, right? Then maybe that's why nobody was chatting in there. Everybody see a chat box now? Let's see. I know there's a little bit of a delay too, so I'll monitor the chat box. I want to make sure everybody's got a pulse out there. Everybody is excited that you woke up on the right side of the ground today. Good, we're populating the room too. A lot more people came on. Super. Doing great, James. All right, James was the first brave soul to type in anything. Doing great, James. You're going to get recognized. We got a lovely party gift for you. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll jump into the door prize bag by the end of the presentation. Awesome day, Joe. Awesome. I'll recognize you guys as, throughout here. By the way, if you have questions, Anita, excited to hear what you have to say. Super duper. I'm excited too. It'll be the first time I've heard it as well. So I didn't go for it early enough. I started, as I saw this managing people. If you've ever managed people and they come to you and they're like, I'm thinking about quitting, or I'm thinking about doing something different. Make no mistake, that horse has already left the barn. All right. If somebody is thinking about quitting their job or doing something different, or just having these feelings, they're already there. They just don't know they're already there. They're gone. They're mentally, they're not 100% there. And at the end of the 90s, in 1999, I met a real estate broker here in Cincinnati, and didn't have any kids at the time. I was doing pretty well in sales. I had actually my best sales year going, but I was just miserable. I just was working. And every time, I don't know if you guys are in sales or if you've ever been in sales, whenever you hit your sales quota, they typically raise it because now they know you can hit that quota. They're like, well, if they can do that, well, then let's raise it up here. And if they can do this, well, let's raise it up here. And I was getting a lot of that, doing really good, but now you're kind of labeled with this reputation. If you're good at sales and you're hitting quotas, then they just, you're a slave to your previous reputation of doing well in sales. So I saw a lot of that going on. I'm like, I don't want to work harder for the same amount of money. Think about that. Think about if you go to a job. I'm assuming some of you, all of you, most of you are in a job right now where you've been in a job. You're currently looking to leave a job because that's the title of this training. And you're thinking, I'm working harder and I'm getting paid pretty much the same. I don't care if you're getting paid 20% more if you're working 50% harder. Like if you used to be working 40 hours a week and now it's taking you 60 hours a week to make 20% more, Most people think, wow, I got a 20% raise. Well, but you're working 50% more hours. You've gone from 40 to 60 hours a week, and you're only making 20% more. That's a completed inverted relationship, and it's a horrible habit to get into, because if your boss thinks that they can get you to work another 50% harder for only a 20% raise, or possible even dangling a carrot, and let's face it, guys, you're not getting a 20% raise. Nobody's getting a 20% raise. You're lucky to get a 2% raise, you know. And but they'll say, hey, wow, we pay this person 10% more. They're going to work 50% harder. We win, right? So I was getting a lot of that. So I met a real estate broker here in Cincinnati back in the late 90s, and this was the window that I missed, and I wish I would have jumped on it. But it was a mistake I made, and it really dovetails into the next couple of mistakes that I'm going to talk about as well. We had a great discussion. We went to lunch, and he said, hey, it's 100% commission. And I was like, oh, God, 100% commission. And back then, I had a mortgage, a car payment. That was it. I just got married, so we didn't have any kids. We had you talk about expenses now, braces, everything else you got going on with your kids, health care and cars and school and all that stuff, grocery bills for a family of 5, soon to be a family of 6, you know? So you think back when you're in your 20s and you think you got a lot of expenses then. In 1999, I just turned 31 years old, and I had this meeting. And I missed the opportunity to jump into the real estate market here in Cincinnati. And it boomed like every real estate market did throughout up until 2007. And then we all know what happened in 2008. But as I reflect back on that, had I had the courage to act during that meeting to be a real estate salesperson, 100% commission, I had plans of doing very well in sales. And then after 3 years, I could have taken my broker's test, because I love real estate. I'm a real estate investor, you know. And it's a real passion of mine. And I didn't do that. And I regret to this day not doing that, because I really could have cashed in those 7 or 8 years of selling real estate and doing very well. But the thing that got me was fear. And that when he said 100% commission, I kind of threw it out there. And I was like, is it really 100% commission? Is there any kind of small salary that you can throw to me? And he's like, no, I'm sorry, man. Every real estate agent works on 100% commission. Now, some offices will allow you, they'll give you a bigger cut of the commission if you rent your office and pay your own expenses, blah, blah, blah. And I let security and fear run it for me. And I look back, and I was only 30 years old, and I didn't even really have that many expenses, but I was afraid. To be 100% honest with you, I had created a lifestyle for myself where, even though I didn't have kids and a lot of expenses that I have now, I still had a lifestyle. And had I just thought that, suck it up for 6 months, get my name out there and bust my butt and start working, I could do it. And I didn't have faith in myself. And that wasn't the only opportunity that came my way in my early 30s, but that's the one that stood out the most when I was doing this webinar tonight. So I'm curious. Do you, watching the webinar right now, the Hangout, we got a lot of people from around the world that watch it live and on the replay. I'm curious, do you have an opportunity right now, or do you have a similar story that comes to mind where you missed it? And you missed it because you were afraid, and you didn't have enough confidence in yourself, and you were betting on the old you, and you weren't betting on the new you? I'm guessing if you're plugged into the Everyday Saturday Message, you're a fan of personal development. You like to be inspired. You probably heard my podcast. If not, go to everydaysaturday.com and just click on the podcast tab. You can download every day. I do one, mostly every day. It's been very challenging lately with all we got going on at the Crawley House. But we have over 200 this year alone out there. I say we, I mean me. And I'm guessing that if you're into personal development, that you want to do better. And you want to bet on the new you. But you're a little bit afraid, and I'm curious if you've missed an opportunity this year or in the past few years where maybe you could have really gone after and bet on the new you and changed your life. Because there's not a lot of times where you can change your life like that financially, you know? And if the opportunity presents itself and you're betting on the old you, it's going to go right by. You know what I mean? But when the opportunity presents itself and you're betting on the new you, that's where faith and preparation intersect. You know what I'm talking about? And you have to have faith in yourself. Had I had the faith in myself back in the late 90s, I could have left my job. Now, everything turned out pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't, but there was a period of about 7 or 8 years there where I didn't maximize my true potential. You know, I didn't have the. I could have had the freedom of being a real estate agent. I could have run my own office. I could have been my own broker. You know, and I could have had an opportunity to really do well during that 7, 8 years or so. Okay, so my challenge to you right now is to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, and do not bet on the old you. You know what I'm talking about? You've got, and if there isn't a new you, then when would be a better time than right now to start creating that new you? And that's the second mistake I made, is I did not learn enough about internet marketing at the end of the 90s and into the early 2000s. I was somebody who thought, you know, well, the internet, you know, it's for these young kids and all this stuff going on, and I'm putting it out there for you, man. I'm just letting you know that's what was going through my mind. I was intimidated by the success that other people were having. I knew that there was a lot of action going on online, you know, so I gave up that real estate opportunity. I stayed in the job, but what I didn't do is I didn't really shine that magnifying glass over internet marketing. And boy, let me tell you, man, there was just like there is today, there was a ton of money to be made in online marketing. Getting domain names on the cheap, I mean, really good domain names that you could have flipped in about a day and made 1,000% profit. Those opportunities are still there today. But again, I'm talking about when I left my job. Had I known the opportunity that was sitting there waiting for me in online marketing, I would have sat there until I figured it all out. Not necessarily building websites or building those virtual empires. I would have delegated that. I'm going to talk about that in my third mistake, the ability to delegate, to outsource, investing in yourselves and things like that. But I really wish there was a period there. Now, I jumped on the internet marketing train in 2005. Towards the end of 2005 is when I really started figuring out blogs, podcasting, SEO, search engine optimization, and doing that a lot, not only for myself, but for other people. You know, and I let the success of other people intimidate me. Do you ever do that? Do you ever look at an opportunity, or you look at a group of people that are doing something at such a high level, and it's something that you have a passion about, but you don't even allow yourself to dream to that level. You kind of keep your dream down here because you're intimidated by all the success of other people. Let me give you an example. You see all the big paychecks flashed around on the internet, right? People that are in home businesses, MLM, network marketing, speakers that are talking about they're getting 100-grand paydays and things like that. And then you say, I can't do that. I mean, I would love to do that. I have a passion, but I don't even know what I don't know that I don't know. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. But that kind of intrigues me. And at that point in time, towards the turn of the century, I was saying I'm 120 years old. Right around 2000, I didn't really dive into internet marketing as a side business because I thought we had people in our corporate world that we pay, and they all look like Revenge of the Nerds. You know, back then, internet marketers, they didn't look as cool as yours truly. They, you know, the wire rim, the black glasses with the masking tape in the front is pretty much what they look like. And, you know, I let them intimidate me because I thought, well, that's what I got to look like, act like. I got to live in that world. I got to have, they have books. Like, you know, website for dummies and all this stuff. They're just reading Java, MySQL, all this stuff, how to build something. Like, had I known that all I needed to do was get a domain name and then put some content out there and drive some traffic to it, maybe use some Google AdSense and maybe do some affiliate commissions and things like that, it would have been really super easy. Heck, I don't even own my own domain name. Do you know that? I don't own samcrowley.anything. Back in 2004, samcrowley.com was available, and I said, well, there's nobody else named Sam Crowley. I certainly have never met anybody named Sam Crowley, and so that domain name's going to always be there. I'm not spending $10. They ain't getting $10 out of me today. And then, you know what I mean? Look at it now. See, I can't get samcrowley.anything, and that's kind of a regret, man. I didn't put that one on the list, but not buying samcrowley.com has probably cost me a pretty penny. You know what's funny? You want to know a side story to that? I actually emailed the guy, Sam Crowley. That's pretty funny, emailing a guy named Sam Crowley. Back in 2006, when it finally dawned on me, I should have spent $10 and bought that domain name from that guy. And so I emailed him. I was like, oh boy, funny thing. You and I got the same name, and here I am, building out every day is Saturday. I'm a public speaker, and I should have bought that domain name. Hey, why don't you reply back to this email? Let's just work something out. I'll throw you a couple bucks. I'm sure it's not worth that much. And I'm kind of paraphrasing the email. And I hit send, and I never heard back from him. And he's probably read it. He's like, you loser. Why'd you buy your domain name? I bought it. And he's I don't know what he is, an interior designer. Maybe you can look him up, samcrowley.com. But anyway, the point being, that was an opportunity that I missed because I was so focused on every day is Saturday, I didn't even think about my own name and how I could have monetized it down the road. So the first two mistakes, let me just go over them again because you're going to run into this as you're looking to quit your job, or maybe you've recently quit your job, or maybe you're a full-blown entrepreneur and you're getting a refresher tonight. The first one, I didn't act earlier. Let me tell you something. The windows of opportunity stay open for only so long in a niche in which you're really passionate about, that you really love to do. You must take advantage of that, and I mean like that. You got to just let fear stay over here, and you got to go, man, because you have no idea. See, most people make a mistake, and the mistake is you think that you have time, right? Like you think you're going to wake up tomorrow. It's not going to happen at some point. You think you may not be in a car, and look, I'm not wishing this on anybody, but you know as well as I do. You've been around the block a few times. Your health can go. You might get in a car accident, train accident, whatever. Health care, family scares, things like that. You may need to be a caregiver. Guys, my life has been turned upside down over the past 4 weeks. All right, we're expecting our fourth child. My wife's been on bed rest now for the past 4 weeks. I'm everything. I am, and I'm happy to do it. I'm the main caregiver now in the family, the main revenue driver, the person who brings in the income. But I can't travel anymore. I can't go speak. I'm a public speaker. I can't get the emails and the requests that I get to go give keynote addresses and things like that outside of Cincinnati. I can't go. I have to turn down. I can't go sell my product, my podcasting product, from the platform. Those of you that follow me and have bought my book as well on speaking, I earn $100,000 to $150,000 an hour from the platform. Can't do that. That's why, kind of indirectly, I joined Mobe, that I'll talk about at the end of this presentation if you've been getting my emails, because I have to generate a large amount of income from my home as I take care of my kids. I'm looking over there because my kids are over here, getting them to school when school starts up next month, going to the grocery store. Ladies, if you're the main mom, I'm Mr. Mom now, the vacuuming, the cleaning, all that stuff, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So your life can change. It can get turned upside down tomorrow. Do you have a plan for that? Or are you going to your job every day, number one, thinking it's still going to be there for you? Number two, if it is still there, you're still going to get paid what you should get paid. I can't even tell you how many people I speak to regularly who have been downsized, right-sized, whatever you want to call it. Basically, they've been given more work and the same or less amount of money, and they never saw it coming. They never saw it coming. As if they thought, well, they did what I did. I never saw it coming. Although I didn't get let go, I let go. I just let go. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing all this work. I'm missing out on life. Life is happening all around me. Kids are coming into the world. Things are happening in my family, and I can't see any of it because I'm stuck in the stupid job. And one day I woke up, I was 37 years old. One day I woke up, I'm 37 years old. And I'm not going to ask anybody how old you are, but if you're middle-aged like I am, I'm 46 now, thank God 9 years ago I had the courage to pull the ripcord and go for my dream. Had I not done that, I'd be giving a webinar right now about living a life of regret. All right? And I know some of you on here are living that life right now, and I'm not going to call you out. That's not my goal here, is to embarrass anybody. I'm just here to kind of shake you up and say, look, man, let this be your wake-up call. There is nothing to fear about leaving a job, going for your dream. If anything, it's to be applauded, and it's to be encouraged. Where I live in the United States, that's how our company was founded. It was founded by entrepreneurs. When people came over here and founded the U.S., they didn't go to a job. They had to make something and sell it. But somehow we've gotten to be this society of, hey, what do you got for me? Hey, what do you got for me? How much are you going to pay me? What's my minimum wage, my hourly wage? How many hours am I going to get? All that stuff. And look, there's a place for that, but it's only for people who love to do that. If you hate living that life, you got to make the decision, man. You got to get off. It's like stepping on that nail. It's the story of the boy who stepped on a nail 20 years ago, standing on his front porch. And day after day, people would walk by and say, boy, why are you stepping on that nail? Get off that. He said, no, it's actually pretty comfortable now. It doesn't hurt as much as it did a few years ago. So 5 years go by, 10 years go by. Boy stands on the nail for 20 years. Why? Because it felt so comfortable. And now the thought of actually pulling his foot off of the nail and getting out of there, the thought of that killed him, hurt tremendously. As much, if not more, than the original pain that he felt stepping on the nail. And that's people that are in a job. They've stepped on that nail 20 years ago. They bought into the silly notion that it doesn't hurt that bad. It's not that bad, Sam. You know, I mean, I get the benefits, the 401k, the health insurance. Yeah, I get it. I know. I was there. I know all the benefits that come with the job. But if you don't love what you do, it's time to go do something. It's time to go after that dream that's been waking you up at 3 in the morning. You know what I'm talking about? So there's nothing embarrassing about going for your dream. The only thing embarrassing is continuing not to when you know you've got it inside of you. Learn from these mistakes. Number one, that I didn't act earlier, and I wish I would have back in the late 90s, with a way bigger head start on my dream of being free. Just being free. Would I have ended up as a real estate agent? Probably not. I probably would have always ended up in the speaking arena because I love to communicate and speak. But at least I would have got 7 or 8 more years of freedom that I can't get now. They're gone. Can't get them back. So if you're thinking about that, do it. Number 2, I didn't learn more about internet marketing. Guys, you've got to dive into internet marketing. Don't be intimidated by other people's success. When you see people on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube doing these videos about how great they are and things like this, and hey, look, guilty is charged. But I do a lot of videos out there to inspire people to go do it, you know, just to do something, anything other than go to a job you hate every day. So I was intimidated early on by the success all these other people knew and that what they were having about their job. Don't be that person. Let me tell you something. You don't know that persona. That's all it is. It's a persona. Most people who promote all that stuff online, there's good people, of course. I'm not saying there's not. A lot of them aren't. Life ain't every day a Saturday for them. You know what I'm talking about? So to be jealous or feel insecure about somebody you don't even know and you've never met, and even if you have met them, you don't know what happens in their 4 walls when they go home at night. You know, don't compare yourself to them. Compare yourself to the person that you were yesterday, and that's the person that you want to be better. If I was going to give Sam Crowley advice 10 years ago, that's the advice I would have given him: is be better than the person you were yesterday. Don't try to compare yourself to the people who are putting themselves up on the ivory tower, because you're never going to win that battle ever in a million years. Let's see, Joe. I quit my job at the end of June for a lot of those reasons you spoke about, such as working more hours for the same money. I'm sure I missed lots of opportunities in the past, but for comfort of my job and the fear of not having a regular paycheck. I'm 56, so a big risk for me, but I feel I did the right thing. I know you did the right thing, because you only get one life to live, Joe, right? I mean, you can always go get a job. You know, I know over the age of 50, it's that age where most companies aren't going to hire people. We wouldn't hire anybody over the age of 40. You know, that was our kind of unwritten rule. But you don't need that, man. This is all about Joe's and everybody who's listening tonight. This is your permission to play big in life. Go do it. You got nothing to lose, man. You got nothing to lose. As a great Bob Proctor used to tell me all the time, Sam, and then what? Well, Bob, what if I quit my job and I lose my health insurance? And then what? Sam, what if Bob, you know, what if I lose all the money in my savings account? And then what? And basically he's like, Sam, you can give me all the excuses you want, and I'm going to keep coming back with those 3 words. And then what? So I'm going to say that to everybody on the Hangout. And then what? There's nothing to fear. There really isn't when you break it down. Mistake number 3 out of 4. I hired too many coaches. I did. I hired way too many coaches when I should have spent all that money. And guys, when I say I hired coaches, I'm talking $10,000 a pop. Okay, these people weren't cheap. Okay, these people were not cheap. And I hired them because I was in a tremendous amount of pain. It was like going to the doctor. You know, it's like I wanted everybody. I was an entrepreneur. I was young in my journey. I had a couple of bucks in my 401k and my savings account that I wish I would have used that money for more learning in the Everyday Saturday brand, how to market. I wish I would have used it for outsourcing for people that I could have delegated these things to, okay? and what I wasn't good at, delegating all the stuff I wasn't good at, and continue to learn and get better at the things that I was good at and the things I wanted to be passionate about. As far as speaking, I could have really launched my speaking career much more sooner, and I believe more quickly had I done this. I could have had my first product launch way quicker than I did and had a lot less trouble. But I spent just on coaching, all right? And this is a rough guess. I didn't write this down before the webinar, but let me just think. The most I paid a coach was $20,000, and that actually wasn't bad. That was to help me with the Everyday Saturday brand. I'd say I've spent 50 grand my first few years with a coach. And I probably could have taken, well, I know I could have taken that $50,000 and developed an incredible platform for my business and myself and outsourced and paid people. I could have used Odesk, Elance. Oh, there's Anita. I spent over 20K plus on the last coach, so not worth it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a good question. Let me stop here. I recorded a podcast. Ray's got a great question here. What about a spouse who is so pro-job? Well, that's a great question. I can't say I have 100% experience with that because my wife and I have always talked about, she hated my company just as much as I hated my company, but she was too nice to say she hated my company. She just thought I loved my company. Yeah, it's all about communication. However, once you step in it a few times trying to be an entrepreneur, your spouse is naturally going to be a bit concerned about your next venture. What are you investing in now? What are you doing? What are you putting on the credit card? Why, you can't leave your job. We need the health insurance. What else are you going to do? Well, all they're saying is, show me. Just show me a glimpse, a glimmer of anything. Don't tell me about what you're doing. I wouldn't say your wife or your spouse, Ray, is so pro-job. I think your spouse is simply saying, show me. Just give me a little bit of an example. And James seems to concur as well. But I would say it's not all blamed on the spouse. I would say look at it from their perspective. It's what? It's fear. It's the same reason I didn't jump through that hoop as a real estate agent back in 1999. It's fear. Your spouse is used to a certain way of life. And they feel that they will not be able to realize that same way of life if you go for your dream and all of a sudden that faucet gets turned off of money. True? So why don't you start working part-time on the side as an entrepreneur, doing something that you really love to do, finding a market that you really like to work in, and show, because anything can be scaled up at that point. Meaning if you're making $1,000 a month and you're working a few hours here and a few hours there, you can make $10,000 a month if you dedicate everything to it. But at some point in time, you're going to have a real conversation with a spouse. And look, I'm not a marriage counselor, man. I'm answering this question because somebody asked it in the group, and I'm going to answer it as honestly as I can. If it were me, I'd be taking, which I have done this. My wife and I have gone to Panera Bread, which is where we solve all our problems, grabbed a cup of coffee, and I said, hey, look, here's my dream, Ange. This is what my dream is. All right, I want to launch a company called Everyday Saturday. I want to be a speaker, a trainer, a seminar leader. I want to travel around the world getting this Everyday Saturday message out. Because our daughter Madeline used to ask, Daddy, is tomorrow Saturday? And then, we got on the same page. It wasn't easy, it wasn't simple, because the same questions came out. Well, what about this $100,000 a year job we got? What about the, when you put it all together with all the perks and the golden handcuffs, it might have been 120, 130 compensation package. But we also both agreed that we wanted me to be home. So you can't do both. At some point, you got to take the leap. And you might fall flat on your face. That's a real reality. I mean, obviously, right? A lot of businesses don't do well the first time. I didn't the first few times I tried a business. But it's going to be good. It's going to get real good. Because you can't, fear and faith, they just can't live in the same mind. One's going to push the other out. If you've got fear and you're latched onto that, faith just can't exist. It gets pushed right out the side door. If you've got all this faith, fear is like, I want to get in there, but it can't. Faith won't let it inside. I had a mind just pumped full of faith, of personal development, and I just knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I would find success. Now, maybe that was naive. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe I should have thought more. But what I found that whenever I think, I get myself in a lot of trouble. Okay? My main speed is fourth gear, always going in the direction of my dream, and I don't know any other way to go. I just don't. I get a feeling, you know. We talk about Mobe at the end of this presentation. I got that feeling with Mobe. I got it with Empower Network when I was doing that a couple of years ago. I've got it with Every Day is Saturday. I got it with real estate. Guys, I bought my first duplex with a credit card. Who does that? Who does that? Who's stupid enough, crazy enough to do that? You know? And it's just the way I roll. I don't know any other way to do it. You got to get a little bit of that maverick inside of you. And maybe what your spouse is saying is, hey, show me a little bit of success first so I can at least have something to hang my hat on. You know, when you go to an investor and people want to invest in your business, they're like, hey, I want to see something. Show me something. Show me some pro forma. Show me an ROI. I would ask Ray and James or Joe or anybody else on there that has a concern, Robert, I would go to your spouse and show them a pro forma. Say, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. And that's a fancy name for a spreadsheet. Here's the return on investment. I'm going to invest $2,000 a month over the next 12 months into this particular business or this avenue, this venture, whatever it is, and it's going to return us this much over a certain amount of time. And just show it to them. That's a good start right there, because then when you do it, you own it. Those aren't just words, man. That's something real right there, words. And on top of the words, what comes next? Action. You got to actually show that you are doing. The money doesn't necessarily need to come in. Look, most businesses don't turn a profit in the first 5 years, but they still stay in business because they reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. So when you think about it in that context, I think if I were Ray or anybody else on this hangout tonight, I would sit down and have a real heart-to-heart conversation, say this is where I want to be in 3 years, and this is how I'm going to get there. I know you're a little bit skeptical right now, and that's my fault. And it's on me, and I got to prove it. And you know what I'm going to do? Each month, I'm going to report back to you the first of the month and show you what I've done the previous month so you can get a little bit more excited. Your excitement level right now is a 0. I want to get it to a 10, and when it gets to a 10, I'm quitting my job. But I'm going to gradually build and build from 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go through these steps together, and I want you to be there, and I want you to hold me accountable. And I want you to buy into this dream with me. Because if that's not the case, you got a much bigger issue than just a business. Then it becomes a marriage issue. It becomes a relationship issue. You got to get, like any investor, you got to look at your spouse. You know, they're no dummy. They're investors. They want to know if I'm investing emotionally, which is even worse than being financially invested in something, because money you can always get back. Emotions are tough. Then help me. Help me believe in you, Ray. Help me believe that this is going to be a good thing. Let's meet once a month and agree to do that, and I'll take you from a 1 to a 10, and gradually we'll get there together. All right, so I hope that helps you out a little bit. It's best I know how to help that. I hired too many coaches. That was my third mistake. Spending tens and thousands of dollars on people who really talked a good game. They were good people, had no business coaching me. I was hungry. I was a sponge. I wanted specific answers to questions that I could not get, and it really made me mad, and it really jaded me a little bit. And I vowed that when I became a coach, when I started working with people, that I would be different than that. I would take a vested interest in their success, and I would answer the questions. And look, if I couldn't do it myself, I would find the answers. And everybody tells me this. Yeah, Sam, you're way too accessible. You're too nice of a guy, which I don't think is even possible. First of all, I don't think that's I think that's a compliment. Okay, but I am somebody that when I work with someone, I throw myself into it. That's why I don't take on very many coaching clients, because I know the amount of time that I put into them and their dream. But I would be very careful. Okay, and this goes into my fourth and last mistake for tonight's webinar. I'd be very careful who you give your hard-earned money to who calls themselves a coach. And I just got to keep it real, guys. I mean, I'm here to help you. I mean, had I known this back when I left my job, I'd still have $50,000 more that I could have reinvested in a way that I talked about, outsourcing, developing, doing info products, things like that. A lot of people think they're a coach. A lot of people think they're a consultant because they've had one good product launch, or they spoke at one event someplace, and now they think they're a speaker because maybe they've sold a couple products. I don't know. There is no barrier to entry to be a coach. You know that, right? Like, you could be a coach. Hey, by the way, that's okay. Dr. Sam, whatever. You can be a coach. And let me tell you something. You probably would be a better coach than most people out there if you really do take a vested interest in the success of your client, and you stay very narrow in the niche that you want to invest in. Generalists get paid, specialists get wealthy. If you want to bring on $25,000 coaching clients, go very narrow, go very vertical. I only coach people that are going through massive transition. All right, people want to make every day Saturday. Right now, they're in so much pain. Every day is Monday. All right, I don't coach people how to go into human resources and be a better team player. If I coached them, they'd quit the next day. All right, so I was very narrow, very very vertical in what I stuck with, and I would encourage you, if you want to go into the coaching and consulting business, it's a great business. Just do everybody a favor and be authentic. Be the person on the phone, on the call, on the webinar, on the Skype call, however you're going to coach people in person, whatever it is, be that same person that you are on your website or whatever social media contact, whatever you use out there, because nothing screams, snake oil salesman worse than somebody who promises one thing and way under delivers another, and they're just over their head and they think they're a coach and they're not, okay? So the third biggest mistake was I spent a lot of money on people who gave me a lot of advice. And some of it all of it I could have got on the internet if I just wanted to do it. But I was naive. I didn't really have anybody like this that I could bounce stuff. Because had I told somebody I was going to give someone 10 grand for a coach, they all would have thought I was crazy. And I would have said, think about that. Nobody does. But yet, when you become an entrepreneur, it seems like we're all searching for that, that mentor. And the good ones cost a lot of money, and the bad ones cost a good chunk of change. They're just bad. And then you've got everybody else that just they're begging for clients. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Don't spend a lot of money because you think somebody is successful. And look, if you want to bring on a coach, it's not a bad idea. I'm not saying that at all. I have a coach. We all have coaches. Okay, we've all had mentors. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the bad ones. You have money you're never going to see again on a return on investment if you don't bring the right person into your inner circle. Be tough on the interview process. Ask to see people that they've worked with in the past, or dive into their website, and are they doing a lot of the things that you want to do? Check out their YouTube channel. Check out their Facebook fan pages. Check out their LinkedIn profile. Just Google their name, put the word scam after it, and see, just get an idea. And look, if there's no information out there, that's worse than having somebody with a bunch of bad information out there. That means they have no experience, okay? So do yourself a favor. Be very critical with that as well. Hire good coaches. I'm not saying don't hire a coach. Just hire good coaches, okay? Lastly, and this kind of is the same thing as the previous point, but a little bit different. I trusted everybody. Hold on one second. I trusted everybody. Anybody who promised they were going to do something for me, when I quit my job, I thought they meant it. How stupid. You're thinking, some of you may be looking at me like, wow, you're one naive dude, but I wanted so badly to succeed when I first quit my job. I wanted to show everybody, because I was getting all the negativity in my ear, man. What are you doing? You just left this incredible job. You got kids. You got another kid on the way. You're crazy. You're going to lose your ass and all this stuff. And I just wanted to show people. So anybody who said they could put me on a stage or do great things to my website and get me on page 1 of Google for all my keywords I wanted to be, and I believed everybody until I got burnt. And then I got burnt again. And then I got burnt again. Anybody here ever lose money? It just happened to me a few weeks ago, man, sadly enough. Sadly enough. I'm still that individual, because in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that there's good people everywhere. The truth of the matter is there's not. And also, the internet, again, there is no barrier to entry. Just because somebody has a website doesn't make them a good person, doesn't make them a guru. Just because somebody can talk a good game doesn't mean they got all the answers. And you're going to fall victim if you're running east looking for a sunset and you're in all of this pain and you don't even know, you want to trust, I can get you on a stage. I used to hear that all the time when I got started in speaking. Sam, I can put 100 people in a room for you. I'm like, wow, really? Yeah. Just come here and, well, first of all, it's $1,000. Just that covers admin, expenses, things like that. And then get yourself to Orlando, and you'll be the featured speaker at the event. 100 people minimum in the room. Okay. Well, you know how this is going, right? I would get to the event in Orlando, and there would be 15 people there for the whole event for 3 days. Okay? I just paid my own airfare, my own hotel, brought all my product with me that I was going to sell, and there might have been 2 people there that could have even afforded the product. And I believe people. And again, I'm not so sure all of these people, there's a few crooked ones in the mix, but I'm not so sure that all of them had bad motives. I just think that they talked up to here, but they just couldn't deliver on it. And when you're quitting your job, think about this, okay? This is one of the biggest decisions you're ever going to make in your entire life, okay? This is what this whole training tonight is about, quitting your job. You're going to believe what you want to believe because you don't believe that having a job is such a great idea. So you're almost putting blinders on, and it's like, don't believe your lying eyes, right? Like, how could you put 100 people in the room and, well, you've never really done so? Well, it doesn't matter. I want to go. How can you coach me and have me making $100,000 a month when you don't even do that yourself? I had a guy approach me a couple of days ago that wanted to take all my YouTube videos and said he could get hundreds and thousands of views and traffic. By the way, I would never do that. I've tried it. I would have done it 8 years ago. Would never do it now. Don't be that person. Don't buy Twitter followers. Don't buy Facebook fans. Don't buy YouTube views. You're going to get blacklisted as fast as you can say Saturday. Okay? Do that stuff the right way. Google rewards good content, fresh content, stuff that has natural linking back to it. Don't be an idiot and buy all these fake followers and links and backlinks and all that stuff. It never works, never will work. Eventually it'll catch up, then you'll be toast. Okay? But when you're in so much pain in a job and you hate it and you don't want to do it anymore, you want to believe that everything everybody's telling you is true. Discernment is an incredible quality to have. Discernment will make you millions of dollars because you can sift through the BS and you can move forward. And when you can discern between somebody who's full of BS and somebody that really can make things happen, that's when you're going to be on the track to your very own Saturday, and that's when you're going to find a tremendous amount of success. My daughter Madeline's over there listening. She's agreeing. She's nodding her head, saying, "You're right, yeah." So understand that when you're going through this process, this whole thing about leaving your job and all of these different things, these emotions, a lot of it is emotion. It's 100% emotion, and a lot of it's good emotion. And some of it's that fear. Fear can. Here's a fear that's going to crush you if you don't watch it. The fear of success. Do you know what the fear of success is? Let me tell you about the fear of success. A lot of people join me, and if I start up a business on the side. By the way, diversification. Let me just say that almost was number 5. Not diversifying right out of the gate was a big deal, and could have crushed me. I do 3 things. Let me just say it, because I'm going to get back to the fear of success. I do 3 things. I'm a speaker. So you throw speaker, trainer, seminar leader all in one bucket. All right, I earn income speaking, and info products and all that stuff. I'm a real estate investor. I have 40 units that I've had for the past 12 years, and it's just passive income. I really don't even pull a lot of money out of that. All of that is mainly tax write-offs, depreciation, and that's my annuity. That's the cash flow for when I'm 65 years old. And I took a lot of my 401k money, the retirement money, and put it into those real estate rentals. And that was, I figured my 401k, I don't think is going to be paying me all this money when I'm 65 years old, as 40 units will. So I made the decision. I just kept throwing money at real estate, So, but that's a long-term play. So speaking, real estate, and now Mo, okay. But you can put any affiliate business in there. It doesn't need to be. It can be any affiliate business. I love affiliate marketing, and the definition of affiliate marketing is simply driving traffic to a page and selling a product that somebody else has already created. And the beauty of that is, remember I told you I spent all this money, creating all of these different things and coaches and things like that. Boy, oh boy, what I wouldn't give right now for the hundreds and thousands of dollars when I quit my job that I spent trying to figure out how to launch every day of Saturday, hiring coaches, building products, $50,000 just on CDs and computers. I mean, the CDs fulfillment, after I sold them, had to get fulfilled. All that stuff, you got to pay for that stuff in advance, Like when you're buying that stuff, Nobody's going to say, hey, yeah, sure, I'll make 10,000 CDs. You got a product launch coming out? Yeah, just, I know you're good for it, even though you've never had a product launch, right? So merchant accounts, setting all that stuff up costs a ton of money. You drive one click of traffic to an affiliate page to somebody else for a product they've created. You don't have to do any of the support. You don't have to do any of the fulfillment. You don't have to put any of the money into the product or anything like that. And you still get paid as much as they do because they're paying you 50%. At least. Some's 100%. But they get the lead. They get the name and the email. But I train my people to do it a different way. So you still get the lead and you get the commission. Okay? But I would have done affiliate marketing right out of the gate. And that's probably the biggest mistake. Is that I didn't start doing that right out of the gate and just throw 300 grand out of the affiliate marketing business. I mean, it would have brought in millions because it's a process I don't think that'll ever get old, and I don't think it'll ever go away. I mean, it won't. Everybody, that's the beauty. It is the perfect joint venture, and it's the perfect win-win relationship is affiliate marketing. So the fear of success is when you taste a little bit of that apple, and then you're like, oh God, I forgot. I'm an ex-stuttering college dropout. I can't be making 100 grand from the stage every time. It's just I can't do that. I gotta get. I'm out of my league. I'm just out of my league. Or you make 10 grand in your first affiliate deal online, and you're like, I can't. Oh man, people are gonna expect more of me now. I'm way out of my league. I can't do this. It's that fear, that expectation that you think now everybody's going to expect you to do more, walk on water. You got to earn more. Again, guys, fear and faith, they can't live in the same mind, right? One's got to get pushed out. So my challenge to you is to walk in faith, not walk by fear. Just don't do it. Don't allow that to happen because that opportunity, that window may be this big for you right now, okay? Like the window behind me, imagine that being pushed open, and you can jump through right now. But that window's going to close. And there'll be another one that opens. There always is, but will it be the right one? Will it be this year? Will it be next year? If you're feeling right now, and I'm not getting it, the whole goal of this hangout was truly just to serve, right? Just to give you some great content and to get you moving in the right direction, not to quit your job tomorrow. I'm not saying to quit your job tomorrow, but if you have not done any type of entrepreneurial venture but you want to, tonight is the night that you should do it. You really should do it. Because you've got nothing to lose. That much. If you still keep your job, that's another thing I would have done differently. So now we're up to like 7 things, okay? But you got the top 4, and I'll review them at the end. I would have started working part-time a little bit more. I bought all my real estate when I still had a job because it helped me get signature loans. Back in the day, they were giving money away. All you needed was a 720 credit score. And I bought 40 units just by signing my name. And all the money from my 401k and stuff I threw in when all the repairs and things like that because I didn't have a lot of, when I was building every day Saturday, I didn't have a lot of, spare income. So work part-time. Get started right now. Work part-time on some entrepreneurial venture. And so you can alleviate that pressure of your full-time job. How great would it be to have $500 a month coming in? Every month, the first of the month, you knew you'd have $500 coming in. That would change somebody's life, wouldn't it? What about 5,000? Wow. But I can't dream that big, Sam, because I've never made 5,000. I never made 5,000 on the internet before until I made $5,000. I never made $100,000 from stage until I made $100,000 from stage in an hour. But all of that is because I just stepped out and I made my first $10. I spoke for free. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching and training, all this stuff. You're going to go through that same rite of passage. There's no quick way to getting to your Saturday. But boy, when you shift your mindset and you go from a place of, I don't think I can do it, that's reserved for other people, to, oh, I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of time before it happens. I actually see it happening. I can see it happening right now. My God, I can see myself next year at this time. My launch date is August 1st, 2015. I'm not even going to have a job. I'm going to be a full-time entrepreneur doing, and then just fill in the blank. And don't let it all teeter on one thing. Be smart. Diversify into a couple different things. And there's another case of the whole shiny object phenomenon. People are like, well, geez, you chase this and you chase that. I make no bounds about it, man. I'm a biz-op hopper. I'm a shiny object chaser. You know why? Because I get bored easily. It's one of the chapters, the first chapter of my book. I get bored easily. I make a few $100 grand in a deal, I move on. It's not that the deal was a bad deal. I'm an investor. I'm shaking now. I get the finger snapping and everything. I like to move, man. Money's got energy. Energy moves. I just don't like to sit in one spot. It doesn't make it good or bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. I chase shiny objects. That's part of my portfolio. Is I'm a professional. You know, like Storm Chasers? I'm going to create my own reality show called Shiny Object Chasers. I'm going to be the guy that stars in it. But I don't fall. I'm not an idiot, right? I do my due diligence. I look, and let me dive into this. Those of you that have been following me online for the past month, you know Zach Crawford and I have gotten together on the internet. Zach was a listener of my podcast, and he went from 50 grand in debt to making 50, 60,000 a month. He's in Mobe, so I joined Mobe. Mobe simply stands for My Online Business Enterprise. Okay, and I thought it was really neat because you know what? As I just described, my online business empire. I'm sitting here thinking that doesn't sound right. My online business empire. I start thinking I love affiliate marketing. You know, I've got a very responsive list. I got a podcast. People listen to what I say, and if I recommend something, they jump on it. I'm saying that to be arrogant because I very rarely do things like that. When was the last time you got an affiliate promotion from me? I'd be curious. Don't count Mobe. When was the last time you got an email from me promoting anything that had to be that had an affiliate link in it? Very rarely, okay? That's why when you do recommend things, people listen to you if you got a good track record. So I started promoting Mobe because there's no, I don't have to go, you know, there's no pressure to go to live events and hangouts and webinars and talk to your family and friends and beat everybody up and all that stuff. It's a menu of products. You sell those products and you get paid a commission and you move on. And it is a great suite of products. I've been in Mobe for a couple of weeks now, made about $7 grand, which is fine. You know, I'm not saying you're going to make $7 grand in your first 2 weeks, and I'm not even saying that's a lot of money. I'm just saying that's what the facts are. Let me just put in the sticky here. Okay, there's the link right there. Whoops. I'm going to go in. I want to talk more about affiliate marketing and why I love it so much. It's the reason I love it so much is because it's completely passive. You know my situation now, right? You know I'm a caregiver to my wife, who's 22 weeks pregnant and is bedridden now for the remainder of the pregnancy. God willing, we have the baby, and the baby's healthy, and we make it to term. Okay. I got no shot of traveling anywhere to even check on my rental properties, go speak. I've got 2 previous engagements I've got signed contracts for that I have to go. I can't back out of them, all right? So I've arranged for care to be here while I'm out of town for that one night each. I got to drive revenue, man. I mean, this stuff, you know, and you got to drive revenue, okay? If you could earn income from the comfort of your own home by simply driving traffic, wouldn't that be ideal? Wouldn't something you could do in the morning or on your lunch hour or in the evening for a couple hours, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if you could actually work alongside individuals who actually know? Remember that whole thing I was talking about, mentors and coaches who have really done what it is that you like to do? Wouldn't it be cool to learn from individuals who are doing this on a regular basis like myself and Zach Crawford? Because this is what Zach and I are doing. We've formed a partnership. We have our separate teams in Mobe, but we have a product called Sam and Zach's Inner Circle. And the way Sam and Zach's Inner Circle works is we have a private Facebook group where we share what we're doing on a regular basis within Mobe and really within internet marketing. It's not just specific to Mobe. We also have a membership site that we're launching for $97 a month that you get access to when you come on board Mobe. And I put the link in there, join Mobe today. That's for $49. All right, you can get started with Mobe today for $49, My Online Business Empire. And you'll see the power of this affiliate marketing program. And there's also a guarantee that if you don't earn a commission 30 days after you've gone through the 21 steps within that $49 program, 30 days, in your first 30 days, if you don't earn a commission, they will pay you, Matt Lloyd, the founder of Mobe, will pay you $500. I've never in my life seen that, okay? So not only will you earn $500 if you're not successful, I never join products or anything because of a guarantee or anything like that, but that's what it's there for, okay? Talk about put your money where your mouth is. You're also going to come into mine and Zach's Inner Circle training that we have. We're going to do 2 live webinars a month. and also access to our private Facebook mastermind where we're inside there every day with an accountability thread, some teaching and things like that. But here's the best part. Well, here's one of the good parts. I won't say it's the best because I like a lot of things about Mobe. You get your own personal coach. That's right. When you first start with Mobe, and this was the big differentiator with me, okay? Because your time is limited. When you start building your business, you're not gonna have time to get on the phone with everybody that joins your team and has questions and answers all this stuff. Neither do I. So here's the beauty of it. When you get started with Mobe for $49, you immediately set up your very first coaching call with your own personal coach. And they get on the phone with you and guide you through the 21 steps that's involved in launching your business and showing you how to earn money and how to drive traffic and all of that great stuff so you can get that first commission or they pay you the $500 guarantee. I thought that was amazing. And here's another good thing about that personal coach. When you are off just driving traffic to your Mobe landing pages, okay, that are selling a product, your personal coaches, when you're building your team, when you're selling products, they're getting on the phone, remember, with people that you bring on board, and they are selling future products on your behalf. That is the secret sauce. That's the part that was missing from any other affiliate business that I've been involved with, is the time constraint of having to get on the phone and explain other products. If people were interested in buying other products within the organization, you had to explain it to them or send them to a page and answer questions. The personal coach takes care of all that. You just collect the commissions. So let me refresh. Let me recap. You join for $49. You get access to Zach Crawford and myself's Inner Circle training, which is our private Facebook group, our live webinars, and all that. Okay. You get assigned to your own personal coach within Mobe, who's going to teach you how to generate daily commissions as often as you want to with this business. And that personal coach is also going to be working for you when you build your team to sell products on your behalf. Guys, it's phenomenal. I love it. Been in it 2 weeks, but I've been following Zach for a few months now since we first met. And I've seen him grow this business now to over $50,000, $60,000 a month. He had a $20,000 day. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. He posted on Facebook. He's absolutely crushing it. And I'm going to be right behind him doing this because why? I'm Mr. Mom now. I don't have a choice. I have to. So Robert's already in Mobe. Robert, just shoot me an email. sam@everydayissaturday.com. Shoot me an email, and we'll figure that out. Okay. If you join through Zach or myself. So guys, join today for $49. JoinMobeToday.com. Go to Join Mobe Today. I put the link in there. Join, and in 30 days. Heck, let me just throw that. Well, I'm not going to do that because that would be crazy. I was going to say I can't give a better guarantee than Mobe gives. You're going to get a $500. You're going to get paid $500 if you don't make a commission in your first 30 days after going through it. Your eyes are going to be opened as to this whole other world of affiliate marketing and running your own business. And here's a side benefit. You know all that stuff I said about learning? Inside the word learn is earn. Learners are earners. And when you go inside Mobe in that 21-day training, you're going to learn all there is to know about internet marketing and online marketing, affiliate marketing, more than most people you'll ever meet in your entire life. And that is another amazing benefit to it, is the knowledge. Your mind is going to expand. You can take this knowledge and go do whatever you want with it. You can go monetize it yourself. Check it out. Go to Join Mobe Today. You'll see why I'm excited about it, why Zach is absolutely crushing it as well. Look, guys, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk and say $7 grand in 2 weeks is not a lot of money. I get that's for somebody's first 2 weeks, it is a lot of money. And I'm not saying you're going to do that. What I'm saying is allow yourself to dream. All right, this whole presentation tonight has been about allowing yourself to dream and giving you permission to play big. Now go play big. Add Mobe to your portfolio for business, all right? And learn what it means to be an affiliate marketer making money from the comfort of your own home. And guys, if you have any questions, you can fire them at me, sam@everydayissaturday.com. It's been a real pleasure. I love doing these hangouts, man. I'm planning on doing a lot more of these now that I'm kind of, anchored in my home base. I hope you got a lot of value out of the presentation. I'll hang on. I know there's a little bit of a time delay as well. If there's any questions, I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, type them right into the chat. So I'll see them because I know we got about 30-second delay or so between typing and what shows up there. So if you got any questions about tonight's training, about Mobe, about making money online, every day is Saturday, whatever, just fire them out there. And I'm quite impressed that we still have everybody that was on the original Hangout is still with us. Wow. Phenomenal. I'm just checking to see if, let's see. Thank you, Bevan. I appreciate it. Thanks for attending. I appreciate that. Okay. Hang on and see if there's any more. The replay as well. If you want to see the replay, you got it, Robin. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. You can just go to my YouTube channel, and it's YouTube/EverydayIsSaturday. YouTube.com/EverydayIsSaturday. That is the Everyday is Saturday YouTube channel. I'm also going to put this on my Facebook page, fan page. If you're not a fan of Everyday is Saturday, go to Facebook.com/Everyday is Saturday and like the page, because you'll see the replay of this there as well on the Facebook page. Okay? You guys have been awesome. We're going to sign off for Tuesday, July 29th. Sam Crowley, have the best day ever. Take care, everybody.